When we say William Shakespeare, we all know whom we mean, or do we? This is the Shakespeare we usually know from the title page of the first folio, but also from logos, merchandising and the like. There is another Shakespeare less well known, but probably closer to the man who worked in London theatres for 30 years. Here he is from the Chandos portrait. You may see him at the National Portrait Gallery next time you're in London, or, of course, on the web. And this is the third Shakespeare. We all probably know young Will in the Oscar-winning film Shakespeare in Love. He's still the same person, obviously, but how different. We may call him the paper Shakespeare, the stage Shakespeare, and the cinema or video Shakespeare. One and the same person, obviously, in the end, simply changed throughout the ages, and we can now enjoy him and his works in all three versions. In the 4th century since his death, Shakespeare has become the world's poet, a status symbol for the world of entertainment, a totem. His name and his works have been enlisted in countless political and social debates. And what is even more surprising, often by both sides, the British and the American in the American Revolution of 1776, abolitionists of slavery and anti-abolitionists in the 19th century, the Allies and Nazi Germany in World War II. They all claim to have Shakespeare on their side. Shakespeare's greatness is not just that he wrote wonderful lines of poetry, but that his words sound new to every new generation and have been applied to widely different contexts. This, for instance, is To Be or Not to Be, as delivered by, among others, Kenneth Branagh, Laurence Olivier, Mel Gibson, and last, and perhaps least in this contest, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
To be or not to be?
To be or not to be?
To be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
To be or not to be? Or not to be?
To be or not to be? Not to be.
Of course, the reason why Shakespeare has stood the test of time better than any other writer is that the stories he wrote and put on stage 400 years ago have become pressing social and ethical issues in the modern world. Take anti-Semitism, for instance, in The Merchant of Venice, with Shylock's famous monologue, "Hath not a Jew eyes?" Or racial hatred of the black man in Othello, when Iago says to Roderigo, "I hate the Moor." The relation, again, between colonizer and colonized in The Tempest, where Caliban says to Prospero, "This island's mine, which thou takest from me." Or, again, the contrast between parents and children in Romeo and Juliet, with Juliet's father insulting her and telling her, "Hang thee, disobedient wretch." Shakespeare plays and poems thus continue to talk to us. And so does Shakespeare the man, in a way. Countless books have been written about him, though the documents about him, about his life, are really few. Indeed, from 1585, when he probably left Stratford to go to work in the London theatres, to 1592, when he's mentioned in a book by a fellow playwright, there are no records of his whereabouts. These are the so-called lost years, which have been imaginatively filled with many suggestions. Schoolmaster, lawyer's clerk, butcher, poacher, soldier, follower of a great lord to Europe on his grand tour, and especially to Italy. In fact, despite legends that he traveled to Europe, in his youth no records survive. Yet he clearly has a predilection for Italy, Venice and its territory in particular, as opposed to only one of his plays being set in England, The Merry Wives of Windsor. There are 4 of his plays, Romeo and Juliet, Othello, The Merchant of Venice, The Two Gentlemen of Verona, which are set in the region. and show a feeling of the play so precise that have made many think that Shakespeare might indeed have visited Italy in his youth. It's a mystery in the end and destined to remain so. And it's not the only mystery about Shakespeare and his works. His sonnets, the most intriguing collection of love poems, are equally mysterious. No title, no names for the lover and his dark lady, a fair man coming between them in a combination of passion, jealousy, and betrayal absolutely modern. And again, totally puzzling, who are they? And above all, is it all real? Do they really show us Shakespearean love? So you see, following Shakespeare from his young days in Stratford to his London days in the hectic world of the theatres, especially in his own theatre, the Globe, where for nearly 30 years he was a playwright, an actor, and a sharer in his company of players, it's a trip really worth taking and a great story in itself.